Hello and welcome to What's on Your Plate. My name is Dr. Awoniyi-NOra. And in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we have two very special guests. We have Miss Sheila Patton and we have Dr. Angela Hall. Okay, Miss Sheila, please tell us why you're such a phenomenal survivor.
Well, first of all, Dr. Nora, I would like to thank you for this golden opportunity. And being a survivor, I found out that if you're athletic, then it helps the body learn to eat when you're taking chemotherapy. Actually, I am a 4-year survivor. I was running the cotton row in 2007, is when I noticed that there was something unusual that was there in my breast after I come over the finishing line. So I immediately got home and took a shower, and I felt it, and it was a lump. So I immediately called Dr. Shepard Jr. and let him know that I had felt something unusual in my breast and I needed to see him, which he had just given me a breast exam 2 weeks before that. So he was very shocked to know that he did not feel it at that particular time. But nevertheless, for us, the chemotherapy and the radiation, like I say, having athletic background and knowing how to work out, the body tells you, the brain, to eat. And knowing to eat survives you. A person that takes chemotherapy can't survive if they don't eat. And that's most of the time what makes it detrimental, bring on death, is because they can't eat. You have to survive by eating. And then I found out that through my chemotherapy, all I would hear is people talked about, oh, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna throw up, I'm gonna do this. But then I decided to climb the mountain. I decided that, you know, my help comes from God. And if I can get up this mountain, then this chemotherapy is nothing to me. So that's what I started doing through my times of my chemotherapy. I would go and I would climb the mountain to get my strength. So my body would tell me, Sheila, when you get back home, you need to eat. And it stayed down, and I didn't have any problem with that. And so I just would just like to say that if you have energy just a little bit, try to go do a water aerobics. When I did my radiation, I read where if the body is cool, then the radiation won't burn. So actually every morning at 9 o'clock, I did an hour aerobics, water aerobics. Then I went on to Dr. Child's office to do my radiation. And for the whole 6 weeks, the 38 treatments that I had, I did not burn one time. And he asked me what was I doing, and I told him, I said, well, Dr. Childs, I read that if the body stays cool, then I won't have to worry about being burned. He said, so you do a lot of reading? I said, well, you know, reading is powerful. You know, I said, once you get it in your head, you can do it, right? I said, you know, so that's how I looked at it. But I would just like to say that for us, exercising is a good technique for surviving. And also your fruits and vegetables. We need to also eat at least 1 cup of those a day. That helps the antioxidants in your body. And also the pomegranate, get the fruit with the pomegranate and get the seeds out of it. And you know, you can just suck the juice out of the seeds. That is a very powerful antioxidant for the body. And when you eat your apple, also eat the seeds too, because that helps also. Don't be afraid of that. But I would just like to say thank you once again for inviting me to this phenomenal show, and I just enjoy being here. Thank you.
What? Okay, Dr. Angela, please tell us your story.
Well, my story is not personally me, but my family has been affected by breast cancer. My grandmother, who was a great influence on my life, passed away about 10 years ago from breast cancer. Her sister also has breast cancer, or had breast cancer, and she's a surviving breast cancer patient. But one of the things that my family do is that we go on a regular, all the women in the family, we tend to go and get regular checkups now because of it. We also make sure that we're eating properly and exercising to prevent from getting breast cancer or any type of cancer.
Okay, so today we are going to make a raw food salad. We chose freshly grown tomatoes, organically grown by local growers here in this area, and a Hacienda cucumber. And so we chose a variety of colors and this deep green color in our cucumber. We'll talk about that. We also have a variety of herbs and spices, some of which we got from our local organic store, Garden Cove. And the Sydneys were so kind of packaged this for us, just for this show today.
And Dr. Nora, tell us, how does this fight or helps with breast cancer?
Well, like I said, we got them in a variety of colors. The green is as a crisp color, and it has that rich amount of chlorophyll, like we talked about. And that chlorophyll helps to support the body's blood system, and the immune system is within our blood supply. So our red blood cells, our white blood cells need support when we're fighting breast cancer. So this deep green color helps with that. And so the deep green color here in the Hacienda cucumber is good for that as well. Also, we have in our red tomato that Dr. Angela is cutting up, we have lycopene. It's very rich in lycopene and beta carotenes. And also that's found in the yellow variety of our tomato too as well. Now they do have different flavors, so if you want a nice sweet mellow tone, the red tomatoes help with that. And then a very sharp and crisp flavor is found in our green tomatoes that she's cutting up for us. And the yellow has a nice mixture of crisp and sweet and a very smooth flavor as well too. And all of them complement our raw food salad.
I know a lot of people down south love to do the fried green tomato. Would you recommend that with the yellow?
Well, this is the fried green tomato, but since we're doing raw foods, we're not going to fry all of our good enzymes down. And speaking of which, also the reason why we choose a raw food diet or some type of raw food dish is to provide those live enzymes that come in all of these different varieties of vegetables. And it's also in fruit too. Those enzymes help the body's immune system be able to fight cancer. And so that helps the survivor do much better and feel much better too.
So how about the spices that you have over here in the seasoning?
Okay, well, I particularly love Redmond's sea salt. Redmond sea salt has a variety of trace elements like calcium, magnesium, and psyllium. And then it also has iodine in it. It's very important that cancer survivors remember their iodine intake. Where iodine is, cancer can't survive. So it's good to have iodized salt whenever you're cooking. Also, these are some nice Caribbean herbs that my mother-in-law brought for me. She's also a breast cancer survivor too. When she went to Trinidad, she brought some nutmeg from an organic farm out there, some bay leaves, some malby bark, and coriander seed, and it's mixed up in this little mixture of seasonings here. And also we're going to use some slithers of garlic. Garlic is very important, high in antioxidants, very important with fighting cancer as well. And of course we have our onions for flavor, and then we have our herbs. We have a mixture of thyme, basil, and dried rosemary that we're going to also put in there as well. Okay. So while Angela's getting that, I also have a small herb garden outside that I grow all of my organic herbs and tomatoes and vegetables as well. And so we have some peppers from that garden that we finely chopped, and we're going to add into our raw food salad today. Also,
sounds delicious.
It is. I love this. And also we have some lemon juice. It's just straight concentrated lemon juice. You can fresh squeeze it right out of the lemon. We're going to add that to help retain color. And it also unlocks the vitamins that are in our raw foods as well. It opens up the door for them to come out. Okay?
Wow.
I can't wait to try it.
I
How
can't
about
wait
you?
either.
Okay, so we have a vegetarian meat substitute that my mother makes. Her name is Dr. Awoniyi-NOra. And it's a gluten-based protein that we're going to use in our vegan lasagna today. Also, we have our onions that are coarsely chopped. And we have our cheese, our vegan cheese. And then we have our garlic that we cut in small slithers here. And then we have our tomato sauce and another herb. Let's talk about the herbs again. We get our herbs from Garden Cove. And this is rosemary. We have cayenne pepper, coriander, and thyme. Okay? And then we have our soy. This is our tofu replacement for ricotta cheese. So you were asking me earlier today about our soy product.
Actually, yes. About the tofu, I've seen it many times in Garden Cove, but I decided I better not try to attempt this if I didn't know exactly what I was doing with it. But you know, the best thing you have to do is Google everything, and I didn't think about the Google at that time.
You didn't Google it.
Yeah. So anyway, could you explain to me about the tofu?
Okay, well, so tofu is the processed product of soybeans. And soybeans are high in protein. In fact, they're equatable to regular meat.
Okay.
So it's a great protein replacer. So tofu is not very expensive though.
Okay.
So you can find it at, like you said, Garden Cove. It ranges between $3 and $5 for a pack, about 8 ounces or so.
Okay.
And I usually pick the firm one. So this time we used firm, and we crushed it up in the blender, or you can use a mixer if you like, to get the ricotta consistency. And so in place of ricotta in our lasagna, we're going to use a tofu ricotta instead, okay?
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Well, let's get cooking.
Let's go with it.
What a beautiful apron. Where did you get it?
Well, thank you. After I talked to you on Friday, and you said you're just going to have a cooking show, I decided, okay, without a cooking show, as a breast cancer survivor, I needed me a nice breast cancer pink apron. So I have a cousin named Talisa Adams that is a seamstress in the family, and she worked wonders. And I called her on last evening, actually, and she said, oh, that's no problem. She said, I can make you an apron, so she brought it to me today to wear.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Well, let's get the noodles in the pot.
Okay, so I need to do some breaking.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's fine.
I know it's going to do that.
Now you can go ahead and drop what you got, and I'll get the other ones going over here.
Okay. My bowl is filling up.
Listen to that sizzle. Want to put some of these onions? Okay, you got that.
Yeah.
Got our onions in there.
Wow.
Picking up
This is
all
pretty
that
neat.
flavor. Yeah. So easy.
It's so easy.
Gonna put some garlic in there, some little slivers. Look at that. Oh, it smells so good. And you get a pinch or two of our Redmond salt. Redmond sea salt. All right, and then You want to get the sauce for me, Miss Sheila?
Oh, absolutely. Pop the top.
Yes, ma'am.
So we going into the pan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna just bring this to a simmer and get to our final product. Well, I'm excited to share with you this smoothie drink. It's called Blessed Assurance, and we can go over the ingredients real quickly. I use 2 cups of almond milk, some honey and molasses from the good old Amish provided the molasses, some special almonds, some blueberries and strawberries frozen, some raw cane sugar, and some Visalis meal replacement shake. It's in this powder form. We're going to use 2 scoops of that. I'm going to start there with the 2 scoops, okay? I prefer using soy products that have this label on it. Look for this label, non-GMO. GMO stands for genetically modified organisms. So these soy products have not been genetically modified or changed or altered in any way. I like to use raw cane sugar as well. And we're going to just pour 1/4 cup of raw cane sugar in there just like that. It has all the B vitamins you need. B6, B12, all of them. They're great for boosting up the energy, giving you that sugar that you can use very quickly and doesn't get stored in those places we don't want them. Then we're going to pour in some honey, also good for energy too, and good for healing of the integumentary system within our body as well. It's mixed in with the molasses. We're going to just pour that on in there. And then our special almonds. Look at them. We're going to dump about 6 or 7 of those in there as well. And then lastly, we're going to use 2 cups of almond milk. So this is very vegan friendly, this shake right here. And I prefer using the vanilla flavored almond milk. Love my Margaritaville. This thing is the Rolls Royce of blenders. So we're going to set that on there and push this button right here, this green button, and it'll add the amount of ice that you need for the smoothie. Just set it and forget it. It does the whole thing for you. Oh yeah. Make sure it mixes all real good. Mix very well. And then you can blend it yourself. If you want a nice smooth consistency,